on hi, hey Facebook fam, hey LinkedIn fam, hi Shades of Vino family. It is Leslie here. I know it's been a while since we have gone live and I've missed you. But to be honest with you, the sister just needed a little break. And we're going to talk about that today when you just need a little break in your life. So, but I'm excited to be back with you, and I think we have like lives scheduled all through August. So like when you are vacationing on the beach and you're like, oh, I need a little Leslie in my life, we will be here every Wednesday through August. And I think we're scheduled through September. So I'm super, super excited about that. Let me know what you're drinking. Drop a message in the chat. We are on live on the Wine Concierge page, which is the Wine Concierge Club page. And so tell all your friends about us. And then if you are not a member of the Shades of Vino Facebook page, please join that because we put little tidbits in there that we don't always share with everyone else, and the community is growing, and we're so excited about everyone who's joined. So if you are new to the Shades of Vino page, welcome, welcome, welcome. You probably have not experienced one of our lives in a while, so add some comments in the chat. So today's super duper guest is not a wine person, which I know it's crazy that we have a Wine Lovers Wednesday with someone who's not a wine person. But once she tells you her story, you are going to understand, because sometimes, hey Chanel, welcome Chanel. Sometimes we use wine to help us relax, which there's nothing wrong with that. But Ileka is here. She is a business mindset coach, and she's going to talk to us about how we can relax, how we can get our business in order, and how we can have a healthy relationship with wine. So if you have questions for Ileka, please put them in the chat and we will definitely read them. Also, I know a lot of you think, okay, so I'm going to go on this journey of living healthy and what have you, and I'm not going to have any wine at all, which to me is deprivation. So she is going to talk about, you don't have to go into deprivation, but I'm not going to step on her story anymore. Ileka, welcome to Wine Lovers Wednesday.
Thank you, Leslie. Hello, everybody. This is so exciting because one thing I talk about all the time, anyone who follows me, whether it be on YouTube or is in any of my programs, what they hear all the time is I have not given up my wine. So this is perfection for me.
Well, I'm so glad you could join us. So I'm glad you said you didn't give up your wine. Tell me your wine story. Tell me how you fell in love with wine or you enjoy wine.
All right. So I'm sharing right now. I want to make sure I share.
Not a problem. Okay. So while you're sharing.
Oh, I got it. I did it. Okay.
You got it. Okay.
All right. So here is my wine story. For me, I started off probably 15 years ago drinking wine at in industry. So I was in corporate America. We'd have business dinners and everybody would have wine, and I wanted to look fancy, right? And so I was like, well, let me have some wine too. And at the time, I knew I didn't want a sweet wine. I knew I wanted kind of a good dry wine. I don't know why I knew that. I think it was because I saw it in a movie. And so, so I said I wanted red to go with my steak. And I remember I got a Merlot. That was the first one I had. And I was like, oh, I kind of like this. I was like, what else is there out here? And so after I tried Merlot, then I went to Shiraz, and I was like, well, let me try some white. And so when I went to white, I think I went to, oh my goodness, it's skipping my mind. I'm seeing the bottle in my basement right now. It's white. It's white, starts with an S.
It's white and it starts with an S. I'm hold on. Like now you tested me.
Long bottle and skinny.
Oh, is that the name of the brand of it?
You know what? I can't even think of the wine, but
Okay,
it's
I'm
it,
gonna
it's a
search the name.
light, very light wine. Yes, go ahead. And
Okay, so anybody who can think of it, please put it in
right.
the chat because I'm drawing a blank right
Oh
now.
no, me too. But anyway, so I usually one of my favorites is I love a red blend. And I also love I still love Shiraz. It's still like up there in my
Hmm.
top eight. Yeah.
Have you had a sparkling Shiraz?
I have not. No,
Ooh,
I didn't
girl,
even know
that
it
will
was a
change
thing.
your life.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yes. And okay, so you know how I know we're kind of off topic, but you know how the Shiraz is like it's kind of peppery, what have you.
Mhm.
So when they make it in a sparkling format, it still has some of the tannins,
Oh.
but it's bubbly. So
Oh.
when you first have it, it kind of confuses you because you're like, this isn't the normal
Mhm.
sparkling carbonation that I experience because it's a little tannic, but it's so good. It's like rich and very indulgent. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
send you one so you can
I'm gonna have to try
okay.
that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and with wine for me, even so as a just a quick synopsis around my
Mm-hmm.
story, we're going into wine as into my wine story. Uh about 6 years ago, I lost 120 pounds. And even as I lost the weight, one thing I talk about all the time is I never gave up my wine. Like I still had my wine. It was, once a week or sometimes a few times a week, but definitely always had my glass of Shiraz. And I keep wine bottles. I bought myself a little wine fridge, keep my wine bottles in my wine fridge in the basement and go and grab a glass even throughout the journey because you can have a transformation in your weight and in your health and still enjoy a glass of wine. So,
So can I just stop you right there?
yes.
Because you kind of like glossed over this, like you kind of said it like I lost 120 pounds,
Mhm.
120 pounds,
Right.
kind of like, oh, I had a ham sandwich today and I still drink wine. I mean, that is a huge accomplishment. It is a mind shift, essentially, change that you had. You underwent a metamorphosis
Mhm.
and your insides match your outside.
Yeah.
And you still had wine.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
people want to know, how do you do that? How does that happen?
Yeah. So what I did was, I love my wine, right? And so, like I said, I started drinking wine years ago in my early 20s. So I didn't want to give up my wine. It's what I felt. I feel fancy when I drink wine, right? And I
Yes,
feel like
yes.
I feel like a grown up, and I feel like okay, it's nice to have this wonderful dinner and wonderful meal, and the meal becomes an experience, right?
Mhm,
When I have
mhm.
my wine, so it was all a part of it. And so I lost the weight. I lost 120 pounds with the keto diet, exercise, and of course the major mindset changes, right? And so the way that I looked at my wine now was number one, you can still have wine on keto. You just go to the drier wines, right? And I looked to see how many carbs was in the wine, right? So,
Mhm.
many of the red wines are about roughly 5 carbs. And I was like, I'll take those 5 carbs and have my glass of wine.
There you
And
go.
so, yeah, and then some of the white wines, which still I cannot think of the one that's my favorite. I still can't think of it. But the white wines, many of those, especially the lighter ones, are like upwards of 3 carbs. So you get to still have that and enjoy it. And so that would be a part of my dinner, many nights. And so my meals throughout the day and even at dinner would be low carb. And then I'd have my glass of wine to finish off the night.
That that is excellent.
Yeah.
That is excellent.
Yeah,
That is
we get
excellent.
to shift the way that we look at our meals and our experiences and our food and understand that we can still transform without giving up everything that we love. And that's a big piece of it because so many folks think, so many of us, and I know I thought this when I first started. was that in order for me to, transform my health and my body, I needed to give up so many things. Oh, you can't drink. Oh, you can't, you can't go anywhere, right? You got to stay home all the time. Like all of these things, right? You can no
Mm-hmm.
longer be social. And I decided I wanted to do something different because I knew that that wouldn't be sustainable for me. Because even as you're going through transitioning into a healthy lifestyle, it's something that you have to be able to sustain, right? We get to sustain that.
Yeah.
And in order to
Yeah.
sustain it, we can't give up everything. So I kept
Well,
my
I like the fact, because I was listening to this one lady, and she was talking about, I mean, pretty much exactly what you're saying. So I think she stole it from you. But what she was saying is she had lost a lot of weight, but she wasn't going anywhere.
Mhm.
And she wasn't going to happy hours. She wasn't going out with her girlfriends. She wasn't going on date night with her husband. Because in a way she was afraid to,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because then she would experience all of the other things that could
Mhm.
be potential triggers,
Yeah.
and she wouldn't be able to maintain the success that she had.
Hmm.
And so I love the fact that you said, like, no, I'm making these decisions. I'm still going to go out, and I'm going to manage this, and I'm still going to make allowances for these things in my life, but not indulge in them.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's the thing, because what happens with so many people is they stop doing everything, right? And it's almost like when you stop doing everything that you do, let's say that
Mm-hmm.
you were living a lifestyle of traveling, and you were a socialite, you were going to different events every week, and meeting up with people, going out with your husband, all the
Right.
things, right? And then you decided, well, I want to be healthy. So now I can't do anything. I have to stay home all the time and only eat the foods that I cook. And this is the life I have to live in order to be healthy, lose the weight, whatever it is, right? What
Mm-hmm.
happens is over time, you start to connect being healthy with boring, right? And those things
Yes.
aren't necessarily
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
exclusive of each other, right? Those are mutually exclusive things. You can still have a lot of fun and be healthy and choose health. And so what we get to do is look at what our lifestyle entailed. So the entire time that I lost the 120 pounds, I was traveling. We went to Hawaii. I went to New York multiple times from the DC, Maryland area. We went to Florida. Like we were traveling,
Mm-hmm.
while it's happening. I was also working full time. I was also spending time with my friends. So we would, go. We were going out to bars sometimes. Me with 4 kids having nerve to be at a bar, but every so often, it wasn't like every night, but every so often we would go out, and we would, get together at someone's house. Like these are the things that we did, and still had the transformation. Because in order to, if we sit there and we think, I can't do anything while I'm creating this healthy lifestyle, I have to be home all the time and cook all my meals and all this stuff. The moment you reach your goals, everything's going to pop off. You're going to say, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm free now, let me start going out, eating everything I see, all those things. And then the weight all comes back on. And this
Right.
happens to so many people. You got to keep enjoying the things that you enjoy, the things that you love.
I think that those are extremely wise words. So, of course, like, you just don't focus on the body coach.
Yeah.
I love that you incorporate business in it. So
Hmm.
talk about, as an entrepreneur, how did you bring the business into the mindset, the body coaching?
Well, so the way it worked was, initially I'd started my business as a weight loss coach, right? Helping people transform, losing their weight, getting healthier. And prior to that, I had worked in corporate America at Fortune 100 companies as a program manager of leadership development programs and process improvement, Six Sigma, like all that stuff. I was a consultant at one point, a business
Mm-hmm.
consultant, working with executives to improve their companies. That was what
Right.
I did. So then when I started I became a weight loss coach, I was just doing weight loss coaching and I missed the business piece. And so, what I began to realize I was doing as I was coaching these women to help them lose the weight, I began giving them career tips and tips on how to grow their business. And we
Mm-hmm.
were seeing vast improvements. And also, I also began to notice that what happens when we get to transform our bodies, lose the weight, we tend to gain more confidence because we feel better, we have more energy, we're
Mm-hmm.
productive. And so that displays in our businesses too. And so now we're able to have more clarity in mind and our business can grow because of that clarity. And so those came together. And then, of course, in order to sustain weight loss and in order to grow or build a business, you've got to have some major mindset shifts. You've got to be able to see possibilities outside of what is normal,
Mm-hmm.
what you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to do or expected to do. And so, in doing that, when we get to put all of these things together, you have the confidence, you have the transformation in the body, and you have the major, massive business growth. So my clients began making more money, and then we got into understanding. So how can you have a major increase in your income and in your revenue, and look at how many hours you're working, how much effort are you putting into your business? So we began to look at, because my background again was in process improvement.
Right.
I was an industrial engineer, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at how can we make this more efficient and more effective so you get to work less while making more. And so I began to work with my clients and myself on where can we find time and where can we look at opportunities uh, to reduce the workload, right? So that rather than working 16-hour days as as many entrepreneurs still do to this day,
Yes.
we get to cut that down to 7 6 7 hours a day, or even even better, 4 or 5, because
Mm-hmm.
we didn't leave corporate America so that we could work 24 hours a day in our own business and work just like we were working there,
Right. At
we
least you get paid leave.
Right, exactly. We left corporate because we wanted the flexibility, the freedom, the ability to travel, all those things, and we wanted to feel good. So my business, I take entrepreneurs and I take my clients through the process to allow them to be able to work less while playing more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Working more and feeling better. And combining that, it's that mindset shift and opening up the possibilities really brings them to that level. So it's amazing.
So is it a situation where you're doing the weight loss coaching and business coaching together for the same client, or people can sign up for business coaching or weight loss? Like, how does that work?
It's usually together for the same client because many entrepreneurs have an extra 25 pounds or more on them right now
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
they're spending so
Yes.
much time, right, in their business, working on their
Mm-hmm.
business and doing all those 16-hour days, that there's no time for self-care. There's
Right.
no time for rest, time for eating to nourish the body. I have a challenge going on right now where the first day of the challenge, I literally talk about fuel to be productive. And the fuel to be productive is nourishing ourselves with quality food, right? It's movement. Movement is fuel because when we move,
Yeah.
we release endorphins and we get to actually have more energy. And then it's self-care because that gives us the opportunity to refuel, taking time to get massages and pedicures, or even just time to meditate and speak affirmations and pray and have gratitude, right? These are all forms of self-care. And then rest, actually sleeping.
Yes.
So helping my entrepreneurs to get there, and because when we get there we can truly see how we get to work less and make more, right? Because now it all aligns. And when they get to fuel to be productive, or I call it fuel to be an accelerator, when they get to
Mm-hmm.
fuel to be an accelerator, what happens is they begin to see the weight shed, right, the weight come off, but they can begin to feel better, have more clarity of mind, and we get to work through managing adversity to remove a lot of the overwhelm that happens
Mm.
from multitasking, from being everything to everybody. We get to remove that and we shift for good too. So now they never have to think about having that extra 25 to 50 pounds on forever. Now it's gone. It's gone for
Mhm.
good because we've created a regimen to keep you going forever, you know?
I think I think that's revolutionary because me, right? When you look at it, it's either or.
Mm-hmm,
Like I'm going to focus on my health,
mm-hmm,
or I'm going to focus on my business.
right.
And when you're making changes in your life, you doing both sometimes can be so jarring that
Mm-hmm.
it's paralysis, right? You're
Yep.
like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do, so then I'm just not doing anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I'm
Yep.
not doing anything
Mm-hmm.
at all
Yep.
to
And
have
that's
that.
what happens with so many people. It's like, oh, I'm doing all these business classes and I'm getting business coaching, I'm doing all this stuff. And so they begin focusing on that and trying to do all the learning and the implementing,
Mm-hmm.
and their body gets pushed to the wayside. Or then they're like, well, let me focus on my body. Let me
Yes.
start exercising, and I've got a weight loss coach and I'm going to be doing all these things. And then they aren't working as much on their business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because many people are still doing so much in their business. So I'm like, we get to do it all, and we get to do it all in less time. I mean, it's so I don't share this that often, but um, I in the summers I work 2 days a week. Like,
Oh,
yeah. So
yes. Oh, like I know this. I'm going to the pool every day this week.
right. That's what I was like. Ooh, I can't do it this time because we're going to be at the pool again.
We're going to be at the pool,
Yeah,
right?
during the day, because me, I don't like to go to the pool in the after people get off of work, because then everybody's at the pool.
Right, right.
We're at the pool during the day because it's just us,
Yes.
me and the kids. But that's the thing, right? We get to create our own schedules and still and get rid of that mindset, that mental um, connection that in order to make more, we have to work more. In order to
Yeah.
travel and do all the things that we started our business for, we have to
Mm-hmm.
work insane hours and then get so burnt out that it's like, I need this vacation so badly. It's
Yes.
like, we don't have to be burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get rid
Mm-hmm.
of that concept that burnout has to happen. Why? You know?
Yes. So, when you and I had not first met because we've met before, but when you and I like first had an opportunity to have a chat,
Mm-hmm.
one of the tips that you had dropped, and you said, just staying focused on one task at a time.
Yes.
And I think in our society, we are rewarded for doing 2,500 tasks at one time. Especially, let me just break it down. As Black women, we are like rewarded, and our crown is securely placed on our head if we are not fixing dinner, helping with the homework, cleaning the house, all at one time. And then you really aren't doing anything well.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's that, oh, I'm a superwoman. I like it's that superwoman mentality. I like to call it, reformed superwoman. I'm a reformed superwoman because I was that person. I've got to do everything. Like, I've got to, make sure the kids' homework is together, and I've got to work until 2 a.m. to get these, this project completed or get this launch out. Oh, and I've got to, make dinner and, all the things, right? And it was just like burnout, burnout, burnout. Like, you get to the point where you can barely even breathe. And now you're short with everybody. And it's like you begin to hate your business almost when you get to that point. It's like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore because I'm so tired. And we don't have to be there. There's so many opportunities. I have a client where she has a whole 6-figure business, right? Killing it, doing amazingly, right? She's helping women transform their lives through health and fitness. And so she's got kids, and she's taking care of her kids and taking care of the house. And she was still cleaning her house, like a couple times a week. And like, she's doing all these things with a successful business. And when we met, she was completely burnt out, like
Mm-hmm.
brain, like she was on the call like this. And I was like, what is happening?
Right,
So I was,
right.
so I was like, even if we don't work together, I need you to get a housekeeper, right? If
Mm-hmm.
nothing else, hire a maid service that can come and clean your house for you. That is
Yes.
going to save you 6 hours a week, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
just that alone, like huge savings. Now you
Yes.
get some time back, even those small things, because we think that we have to do everything. Guess what? It's okay to eat out sometimes, like you could actually order
Mm-hmm.
DoorDash or go and get something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
It is fine.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Costco has whole rotisserie chickens that you can buy for $4.99. Like
Yes.
this is a thing, and it
They,
is okay.
yes.
You don't have to be everything. And so once we were able to even just connect some of those home things, right? And then begin to connect some of the things within her business that she could find more efficient, effective ways
Mm-hmm.
to be more productive, she's got her time back. She can breathe again.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have to worry about burnout anymore. You know, and her business has grown even more since this. And that, I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds
I think it's
simple.
amazing. I thought of you today. Um, I have my checklist.
Yeah.
I have my list here,
Mhm.
and I was working on one task.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
something popped up, right? Like I was,
Mhm.
and then I said, "No, no, 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 no. You write that one down,
Yeah.
and you will get
Exactly.
back to that. And you
Mhm.
may get back to that tomorrow," which was like hard for me.
Yeah.
But that's not on the things that you agreed to do today.
Exactly.
And
And
you
that
like,
is
unless
okay.
it's an emergency, that's not. And
Mhm.
and that just even like the subtle thing that you told me there, I was like, that has been a shift for me to
Mhm.
say, you don't have to do everything that pops in your head today.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because that's the thing, right? We tend to, oh, I've got a whole list of things to do. And oh, shoot, I got to do this and I got to do this. And so we're working on this thing here, right? Something simple. Let me post on my social media. So now I'm writing up my post. And then, oh my goodness, my daughter needs this. I
Hmm.
was supposed to sign her up for gymnastics. Let me go sign her up for gymnastics.
Right.
And then you forgot that you were posting, and now it's gone away because Instagram is like, oh, you can't just leave a post here for that long. So you forgot. And then you're like, oh, shoot, I was posting. And now you go back to your post, and it's like, oh, it's gone. Okay, now I have to rewrite this post.
Start all over again.
Right.
Yes.
How
Hmm.
much time was just wasted in that process? When what you could have done was you're posting and you think, oh, I got to sign her up for gymnastics. Let me write that down, you
Hmm.
know, put it to the side, finish this post, send it or whatever it is you do, save it, whatever, right? And then now I can sign her up for gymnastics
Yes.
because I've completed this thing. But what
Yes.
happens is many times both stay in the head. So while you're posting, all you're thinking about is gymnastics, gymnastics, gymnastics.
Hmm.
And it's
Hmm.
like, you know what? If you write it down, now that's out of your head and you can focus solely on the post that you're doing or whatever
Yes.
it is that you were doing. And you can actually get things done because how many people have a to do list that continues to be added to and things don't get checked off completely?
Yes.
You're constantly adding to it, but yet you're hardly ever checking things off. It's like we get to check things off of our to-do list, and that's okay,
Hmm.
and it's
Hmm.
a good thing. And it's satisfying checking it off. And once we check it off, it's out of our head.
Oh yeah. It's just.
you
Oh
know?
yeah.
It's
Yes.
no longer rolling around in our head because we'll keep so much rolling around in our head and it's taking up space. And now it's takes longer to get things done because all the other things that's rolling around taking up space.
Hmm.
So the mind is in 20 different spaces
Oh,
at once.
I know. I completely understand. So let's talk about we had touched on it briefly, but let's talk about having wine.
Mhm.
Like having wine, and so someone who is embarking on a healthier lifestyle, or they have a healthier lifestyle, and they have that guilt, like, oh, I really do like wine, but I'm not. Or, the people were like, I'm going to do dry January. And it kind of ran over to other. I know. I feel the same way about that.
You never hear me say I'm doing dry January.
Right. Like, that's never happening.
Right.
How do you do it? What approach should people take?
So
So, Alika, I am not sure if you are frozen or I am frozen. So, those who are watching, could you just put in the chat and let us know if I'm frozen or if she is frozen? Because I still see us being live. So I think Alika is frozen. Okay, so she did lose internet. Okay, so she'll just come back on. Let me just that's the nice thing about being live. Like, this is never going to happen on a pre-recorded show. You'll never see it. So you can thank me later for the excitement. So we've added her back. This is the great thing about being live. Like, you're not going to see this pre-recorded. You're not going to get these thrills.
What's funny is I was talking in my challenge yesterday or about this, and I said, so what ended up happening in my challenge is Zoom decided that my link, the link that I sent out to everyone to join, didn't work. They just can cut it off. It's whatever, right? And so these types of things happen a lot, right?
Oh yeah,
so, right. And we could easily get overwhelmed, freeze. Oh my goodness, what's going to happen? How do we just Or we can stay calm and say, hey, you know what? We have the tools to manage adversity. Adversity happens in life. We're always going to have challenges.
Exactly.
So what do we do in these situations and in these challenges? We remain calm, because if we freak out, progress doesn't get made, right? Nothing actually happens if we freak
most
out.
definitely.
Right.
I'm like,
say
whatever. Like, you know what I say? We ain't saving lives. Right. We're just talking about wine.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe the work you're doing, you say, but I'm talking about wine. I'm not saving somebody's life.
I love that glass too.
Oh, okay. This is a spoiler alert, but we are starting to carry these glasses on our website. We haven't posted them yet, but these are our new sexy glasses that we found, that we're going to start carrying them on our website.
I want to drink all my wine out of that glass.
Isn't it like, it does make you feel fancy.
Fancy,
it does. I know. I'm like, I do feel fancy.
The first thing I thought, it feels so fancy.
Yes, it does. It feels very fancy with these.
It's so cute. I love it.
But they will be on. We're going to post them soon on our website, so I'll let you know.
Yes, that is exciting.
And I know some people, so I can with that.
I cannot wait, because I love a nice wine glass. Like, I have a whole cabinet.
Do you? Yes.
Beautiful. Yes. I mean, we bought some from Italy on our honeymoon. Was it our honeymoon? I think it was on our honeymoon. We bought, like, they get you when you go to Venice. They're like,
yes,
wine maker. Well, we have glass makers, and oh, it's your honeymoon. So of course, we bought.
Of course, yes.
2 glasses of wine, and we got our initial on it and everything. We were so excited. Couldn't tell us anything.
Yes. But then look, like every anniversary, do you use them?
No. No, we don't. My husband doesn't even drink doesn't even drink alcohol. My husband, he doesn't drink alcohol, never has, not his thing, right? So I always have a designated driver, which is amazing.
Yeah, that is good. Yes, that is good.
But so I drink out of the glass. Sometimes at New Year's we'll drink out of the glass, and
Okay.
I'll have
Okay.
wine or
Okay.
champagne in mine, and he'll have
Like sparkling cider or something like
yeah,
that.
or
Yeah,
orange
yeah,
juice
yeah, yeah, yeah.
or
Yes.
ginger ale because I want his to look as fancy as mine.
Right. Well, that's cool. That's cool. But yes, you should do that on the anniversary.
Yes, it was actually last week was our anniversary.
Oh,
Mm,
happy belated
thank you.
anniversary.
Yeah, thank you. 15 years. So we
That is, yes,
yeah
happy anniversary.
yeah we went to Costa Rica. We just got back from Costa Rica.
Oh,
So
very nice.
amazing. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Mhm. So we were talking about what were we talking? We were talking about
Oh, we were talking about like, okay, so how do you have that healthy relationship? Like,
mhm,
what do you do? Is there sacrifice involved or what happens?
mhm. So what I tell my clients is you get to have wine, and you get to decide how you want to live your healthy lifestyle. Like, what does that mean for you? And
Mhm.
so, and I always say, I'm like, for me, that meant I would drink a glass of wine 3 days a week, minimum, right? It was probably
Mhm.
minimum 3 days, especially during the pandemic. I mean, I'd already lost the weight by the pandemic, but
Mhm.
pandemic, it was definitely a glass at least 3 days a week. But you're drinking, you can have your wine and you're just because your body is more cleansed. Like when you eat a whole foods type of diet, right? So you're eating foods that are less processed and things like that. Your body, it actually can't handle as much alcohol as it used to.
Mhm.
So, and I learned that the hard way when I first started my journey.
Uh-huh.
So your body can't handle as much as it used to. So you really only need probably one, maybe two glasses of wine.
Okay. Mhm.
And by two glasses, you're really feeling it.
Okay.
So I actually usually just have one glass, and you really get to, because you're having one glass, you really get to enjoy
And you
that glass
savor
of
it.
wine.
Yeah.
You savor it, you smell,
Mhm.
you taste, you really take it in, and you take in that experience. And now it's really cool because you get to think about how you're pairing it with the meal that you're having,
Yes.
and really truly enjoy every sip of that glass of wine. So, and it doesn't feel like you're giving anything up. I never felt like I was giving anything up because
Mhm.
I don't really have to have a whole bottle of wine in a night. So,
Right. Right.
so I don't feel like I'm giving anything up. I can have a glass or two, you know, and feel really good and enjoy it, and still feel fancy, right?
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Well, you know what I noticed I was doing
Mhm,
was I would pour me a glass of wine
mhm,
and then have the bottle there.
mm,
And in addition to doing the live, I
mm.
also do a podcast, a fabulous podcast named The Swirl Suite, which
Yes.
people should listen to. But anyhow, we would do
Mhm,
that podcast, and we have wine that either one of the guests has given us or what have you. And so I would sip and pour and sip and pour. And the next thing you know, like the bottle was halfway gone or it was gone completely. And so what I decided to do was I just pour a glass and then I put the bottle away.
mhm. Yeah,
So it's not the reaction of just like pour a drink, um, mindlessly.
right.
I'm really enjoying that glass and I don't feel deprived at all.
Exactly.
I
And
just like say that's what I'm going to have.
yeah, exactly. And that goes along with the concept of, so when we talk about eating meals and stuff, right? There's options. I remember I would eat in front of the TV all the time. It was just what we did, right?
Right.
Especially when
Mhm.
I was younger and single, it was like, oh, we had a dining room table for years and never even used it, right? It was just sitting there. We were always eating at
Mhm.
in front of the TV. And so same when we get to enjoy our wine, we can actually enjoy our wine and our meal away from the TV. away from the
Yes.
phone,
Hmm.
put those things down. I mean, obviously, if you're doing a podcast or live, then
Right.
you're going to have it. But
Hmm.
any random day of the week, you know, if we get to remove some of those distractions, then we usually savor our meal and our
Yeah.
wine and truly get to experience it and taste it. Because if you're at a restaurant, you're not sitting there watching TV or scrolling through the phone
No.
while having your glass of wine
Hmm.
and eating your meal. You're savoring that experience
Yes.
and that meal. You can do the same thing at home. Then you
Hmm.
actually get to enjoy it, and you really don't feel like you're missing anything because you're enjoying the experience of that meal and
Right.
that glass of wine.
I agree. I definitely agree. So we just started, it was part of our Shades of Vino wine club wine. And I think I sent it to you, and Chanel may have sent it to you also. But I want to get your true opinion on it. It's called Osmosis, and
I got it.
it claims to be um what is it? It's, first of all, it's vegan.
Mhm.
It um is low calorie. It's less than 3 calories, I think.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it has zero carbs.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I haven't had it yet. I don't
You
think I've had it yet. No,
okay?
I don't think it arrived yet. Or if it did, it arrived while we were on vacation.
Okay, yeah. So one, do you think people can make those claims? Like, is there really a zero carb keto friendly wine out there that people are looking for? I know we carry one, but is there
Mhm.
is there is it a unicorn, or is that something that really exists?
So there are a few companies that claim a, low carb, no carb wine, right? I've tasted a few and it's just not good, right?
Hmm.
Um, and I haven't tasted osmosis, but I've tasted like some that were I don't even want to talk about it. It wasn't good at
Hmm.
all. Right? And then there's companies who say we have a clean wine. And so
Hmm.
when we're thinking about wine really isn't that high in carbs anyway.
Okay.
So, I mean, so it really doesn't, we really don't have to do like wine, they don't usually add sugar and things like that. So it's okay to drink the regular wine. That said, I've got to taste the osmosis and
I'm
see.
gonna send it to you so you can try it. And you know what? And I'm not just saying this because we sell the wine,
Yeah.
because the wine that we actually sell that is by osmosis is a Sauvignon Blanc.
Ooh,
And
that's
to
what I was
those who
talking about. That's the wine. That's the wine I was talking about the whole time.
okay, so those who
Sauvignon
know me, I'm not a big Sauvignon Blanc fan,
Blanc.
so I would not be like, "Woo, raise the roof on this."
Sauvignon Blanc.
Mm-mm.
I love it.
But one of our um one of our club members, a couple of our club
Mhm.
members was like,
This is
this
good.
is really good. And they weren't drinking it for that fact. They
Mm,
were just drinking it
mm,
because they enjoy Sauvignon Blanc. So I'm gonna
ooh,
I will definitely send it to you so you can have provide an unbiased opinion
yeah.
of what you think about it.
And Sauvignon Blanc, the reason I even started drinking Sauvignon Blanc is there's a difference in the amount of in the carb levels depending on the wine. So Sauvignon Blanc is a lighter wine and lower carb wine in general. Like
Okay.
Moscato is going to be a lot sweeter and a lot
Yeah.
more carbs. And
Hmm.
yeah, and it's not a dry wine. I don't drink it.
Yeah.
Riesling is going to be a little more carbs as well because it's a little sweeter. But the Sauvignon Blanc is usually relatively low in carbs. So to get a zero carb one sounds incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And people, one of the myths about Riesling is not, this part is not a myth. Riesling is very high in acid.
Mhm. Yeah.
So if Riesling is made to it's the point where there isn't any residual sugar, or there's really little residual sugar, you can have a Riesling
Mhm.
and not be high in carbs,
Yeah.
because it's so high in acid, it's going to be super bone dry.
Mhm.
Um, and those Rieslings are like more of your germ Rieslings that you
Okay.
have, some of
Yeah.
the Rieslings from the Finger Lakes. But I would encourage people to try that. And then they just get the flavor of
Mm.
Riesling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which would be amazing. because
Yes.
I've had sweeter Rieslings usually, and so I think because of that, I kind of stayed away
Yeah.
from these things more so.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but the Sauvignon Blanc, I like how light it is. I like, it's
hmm
very good. I cannot wait to try the osmosis. I'm excited
Yes,
about that.
I'm gonna send it to you. I put it in the chat for those who are wondering what we're talking about, but it's osmosis and it's keto friendly, and it is a and I'll put that as a Sauvignon Blanc.
Mm,
And we'll put it in the notes. We'll go back and we'll
yeah,
link to it. And again, this is not a shameless plug for me to sell the wine because I have other shameless plugs that I'm going to have.
right.
But if you're looking for something like that, where you want to start off with that, that is a good one to do.
Mhm.
And actually, the woman who owns Osmosis, first of all, she is a beast because she is from Argentina
Oh, nice.
and she owns 4 wine labels, not just one, but she owns 4 wine labels and she is a leader in wine in South America. She will be on the show in a couple of weeks. So if
Oh,
you want to find out more about osmosis and wine, Argentine wine, please tune in to her and you can ask her all the questions about osmosis. Yeah.
ooh, that
hmm
sounds amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll definitely be on that. I'll definitely be tuned into that one.
Yeah. Well, um, I want to say her name is Teresa, which is a shame. I should know this, but yes, yes.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm gonna just ask you a couple wrap up questions. It is like already 47 minutes into it, which is having a good time. Um, so when you're not working,
Mhm.
what is your favorite thing to do?
Oh, so my favorite thing to do is a couple of things. One is Uno with my with my kids. We play Uno. My
Uh-huh.
husband plays with us too, and it's pretty competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what I think what I love so much about it is that I used to win all the time, and
Uh-huh.
now my daughter beats me sometimes.
Really?
She's 7. She kicks my butt sometimes. I'm a bit embarrassed.
I'm
I ain't
like,
too good. I feel like I
have
lost
you
my skills.
okay, so have you played Phase 10?
Yes, I love Phase 10. I'm
Oh,
addicted to
okay.
Phase 10. We
Yes.
have Phase 10. And there's this
Yes.
other game. Oh, I forgot the other game's name, but it's similar to Phase 10 with the same concept. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we love Phase 10.
Okay. Yes.
My family all plays Phase 10, like my extended family, sisters, cousins, when everybody gets together on the holidays, we play Phase 10.
Yes. Yes. For those who are not familiar, Facing is similar to Uno, but like 2 steps on
Right,
steroids. Like you
right.
got to go through all the phases, what have you. So
Uh-huh. Yeah.
it is pretty cool.
It's a lot of fun.
It
And
is
then so there's that swimming, of course. So
right.
we in the summer we go swimming, 3 times a week. And then even in the winter, I'll just go swimming at my gym,
hmm
once a week. So we really enjoy that. And then traveling. Um,
Yeah.
this year I've traveled a lot, a lot, a
hmm
lot. And I think it's because, we didn't get to travel as much last year.
Right. Right.
Well, we didn't get to travel as much in 2020. We traveled last year, but I feel like I'm still making up for
hmm
2020.
Okay.
So traveling this year, we've gone to Dominican Republic,
hmm
Hawaii, and
Oh, you have been traveling.
yeah, Costa Rica. But then there's been places in between. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember all the places. I know we went to New York, and that's
hmm
regular places. But we've been like really traveling a lot this year, just because we missed it, and we
Right.
love it. I love seeing new cultures, like different cultures, and sharing that with the kids so that they get to experience that
hmm
and be citizens of the world. Like that's so important to me. So we've got a lot more places that we're going to be going over the next year for sure.
Awesome. Awesome.
Mhm.
And then lastly, how can people get in touch with you?
So anyone can find me either on Instagram at Ileka Falette or
hmm
on my website at ilekafalette.com. And I actually host a challenge every month where I'm helping women and business owners really take their business to that next level from a body and mindset and business standpoint so that they can become more productive, allowing them to work less, make more, play more, and feel better. So that is my mission, that is my purpose, and I love doing what I do.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time to meet with me. I'm going to send you a nice little care package so you can let people know. And just thank you for the gems. Thank you for the common sense gems that we kind of forget about.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Leslie. This has been awesome. Of course, we had a wonderful conversation. We did before right. We went way over.
It's okay. It's okay. Mr. Facebook, he's not going to kick us off.
You sure?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He might be like starting to charge by the minute.
Right.
Since everybody's up in arms about Instagram. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't see.
Yeah, they're kind of making some changes to Instagram to be more like TikTok. And people are like, we don't want to be like TikTok, or we would be on TikTok. So
you know what? I noticed that today on Facebook, actually. I wanted to go live on Facebook because today's my sister's birthday. So I went live to tell her happy birthday and to share a story about her birth. Like, I remember the day she was born. I was only 3 years old, but I remember it.
Wow.
And so I
do. That's funny because I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't have many memories of like before 7, but I do remember when my brother was born and I was 5 years old then.
It's so funny how that's a big deal. Like, there's another person now,
Yes.
But so I went to go live and there was a space. First of all, it froze me twice trying to go live. And it asked me if I wanted to add a link to my live. And I thought, oh, when did Facebook start doing that?
Right.
The Clubhouse thing. On Clubhouse, you get to add links to the conversation. And Facebook wanted me to add a link. And I was like, that's new. So they are making some changes because, everyone sees that Clubhouse has done some things over the past year and a half. And so I'm like, let me catch up. Get my game up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, everyone have a great evening. Cheers to you. And I just want to show you guys this.
It's beautiful.
This wine that I'm having. At first I thought, oh, maybe I didn't clean my glass out, but this is a Pinot Noir Chard blend, and it didn't really get any time in the barrel. It's stainless, but it's 70% Pinot Noir. And so they let a little skin contact. So it's kind of pinkish in color. It's not from the barrel at all. It is absolutely delicious. It's one of our club wines, I think, from the spring. And if you can see it, I'm so bad with this.
Put your hand over it slightly like this.
Like that. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. It is Kelly Fox, and it is a Willamette. So it's from the Pacific Northern Coast there. It is a beautiful wine. Definitely you gotta try that wine. But I just thought it was so interesting because of the color. You think that maybe it has some time in oak, but it didn't. It's just a beautifully made. So
that's incredible.
Yeah. Yes. So thank you again. We will see you through the month of August. So take us with you and enjoy. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.